People are always asking me how to negotiate a car. So here are my top tips for getting the best deal for you. Well, that's always very tricky because car salespeople are skilled at negotiation skills. But there are some things you can do, and I want to give you my top tips for when you're negotiating a car. Tip number one is decide what car you want. Don't go into the showroom not knowing what you want. Do some research on the internet, in car magazines, and decide the car you want and the model, and go and have a look at it before you go into the car showroom. When you've decided what car you want, do your preparation. Go on the internet and look at the prices on internet websites, on eBay, of that car, that model, and the mileage comparisons, and decide what car you want, what mileage is maybe on the car. Or if you want a new one, look at new car websites and see what discounts you can get there. So lots of preparation, there's loads of information, it's all available on the internet. Spend 10-15 minutes doing your research. Then when you've done that and you've decided to buy from a car showroom, go into the showroom, have a wander around and build rapport with the salesperson. A lot of people sort of feel that car salespeople are a bit intimidating. Well, don't be intimidated, be friendly, don't be flashy, pretending you know exactly what car you want. Build rapport, think about where the other person's coming from, and when they invite you to sit down, remember they're using sales techniques on you. And the number one sales technique is they'll ask you if you'd like a cup of their free coffee. Well, that's great, take all that, and then say, can I have a test drive? Now, when you're having a test drive, they will be asking you lots of questions, and that's okay, but concentrate on the car, concentrate on how it handles. Remember any faults, any questions that you want to ask when you get back into the showroom. So now you're back into the showroom, and the car salesperson doesn't really want to talk about price. They want to talk about, are you going to trade your old car in? Are you going to want finance, hire purchase finance, or are you going to get a bank loan, or are you a cash purchaser? So there's a number of options there where they can muddle the price up. You don't want the price muddled up, you want to keep it as simple as possible. They would prefer to sell you a new car and say that'll be an extra £200 a month for 36 months. You don't know what you're paying for the car, you don't know what the trade-in is at that point, and you don't know if you could get a better deal if you were paying cash. So find out exactly how much they're going to give you for your old car, find out how much discount they're going to give you on the new car, and keep asking what it is. What do you do after that? Well, once you've decided which option, whether you're going to trade in because you like their price, and remember there's a lot of hassle on selling cars on eBay, but lots of people do it. Lots of people sell it in motor magazines like Auto Trader in the UK, and lots of people sell cars privately by just putting private adverts in. And if you've got the time to do that and you think you can get a good deal, and remember you've got a popular car which is easy to sell rather than a more difficult car to sell like I've got a Lexus, an older Lexus, which is much more difficult to sell in these areas, then and I'd prefer to trade mine in when I change it. So what do you do then? Well, you find out what the overall price is, and then you flinch. What do I mean by flinch? You go, wow, that's a bit more expensive than I was expecting to pay. What can you do to help me? Now, usually car salespeople are really trained well on this, and they'll say, well, that's the price. And you say, well, no, I really do need some help on that. And then they may start using a technique, and they say, well, if you are going to buy this car, I might go and see the sales manager and see what he can do. In negotiation terms, that's higher authority, and these fictitious sometimes sales managers who don't exist is just a way of negotiating the price. But if they give you £100 off, they make sure that when they come back from seeing the sales manager, they have actually you're actually going to buy the car at that point. They get your commitment before they see him that you will buy at that price. So be careful of that technique. Ask about what extras they might throw in. Car mats, stereo systems, things for you to plug your iPod in, and even free servicing. They'll say the service department is a different department and they can't give you a discount on that. Don't believe them. Keep pushing them. And then this is what I do. I walk out. But before I walk out, I'll get the email address of the salesman or sales lady, but there's not many sales ladies in car showrooms for some strange reason. And I get the email address, and I walk out saying, no, you still need to give me something off. Often the salesperson will follow you. They might even try the Colombo close, which I'll mention at the end of this clip. And then you get home and you email the person after the showroom's closed, so they get the email the next morning, and you say, I've been thinking about the car overnight, I really like the way you showed me the car, I like the car, and if you could come off another, let's say £500, 500 euros, then I will give me a ring in the morning on my mobile number, I'll come in and pay a deposit and we can do the deal. What you're actually doing there is you're changing the sales process from them selling to you to you selling to them, saying to them, if you come off £500, then I will come in and buy the car. Now, I've tried this 3 times, and 3 times it's worked. At about 10:25, and I asked them to phone me by 10:30, the phone goes, oh Derek, you phoned, you said about that. I tell you what I can do, I can find an extra £150. And I said to the salesman, whose name happened to be Paul, no, I said £500, Paul. Oh, Derek, I can't go that far. Well, what else can you throw in? What about a couple of services? They would cost about £200 each, Paul. Will that do? Well, I could probably do 1 extra service. You see what we're doing now? We're haggling. And when you're haggling, you need to get as close as you can. Don't beat the person up and take too much, but just make sure you get the price down. So by walking out the showroom, you're showing them you're not so keen. By emailing them, you're turning the process round. And number 3, when they call you, then you get into the haggling process. A couple of other tips about when you're negotiating. Make sure that you've got other options of cars to buy. So other models, so the salesperson thinks they're in competition with the Volkswagen garage, with the Ford garage, with the Peugeot garage, etc. Know that they're going to use negotiation tactics on you. They tend to slow the price down. They get their calculators out and work out the numbers. They might say to you, well, it's only an extra £200 a month. Surely you can afford that. And then they might use the Colombo close on you. Do you remember the TV program, Lieutenant Colombo? He always used to play the dumbest smart negotiation tactic, which goes a bit like this. I don't really understand this, or I'm feeling a bit stupid today, or my brain's not working too well. And therefore, when he did that, it was always the reason that he wanted to extract more information from the other person. Well, the Colombo close is when you get to the door of the car showroom walking out, the salesperson goes, oh Derek, oh how stupid of me, I can't believe I'd forgotten, we'd had a special email down giving extra discounts this morning, but I didn't have time to read it. Come back in, sit down, and let's see if I can, through this head office offer, get you another £100 off. It sounds a bit techniquey. It is, but there we are. These things happen. We need to know that when we're going to buy a car, the car salespeople have been trained in sales tactics, negotiating tactics and influencing tactics. Some people are great. Some people are really genuine. Other people aren't so genuine. All you need to know is that you're negotiating, know what you want to pay, and get the car that you want. Good luck with your car negotiating.